what happens after we die? What kind of body do we get when we die? If there is a resurrection of the dead, which we already have proven and talked about over the last couple weeks, then what happens in that moment? And Paul says it like this. In order for the next life, the new life, it's like a kernel, a seed that has to be buried into the ground to die before it comes to life. And when it comes to life, it's in a completely different form. Far greater than what it was. Now, how many of you enjoy eating popcorn? Okay, some of you. I know for our family, we like to watch movies on occasion, and we'll get together, we'll put on a movie, and we eat some popcorn. It's bad to the bone. It really is. It's just a great time. And so I'm gonna get some popcorn going. Now, can you imagine? We have 3 boys, and now a couple dogs. That if I said, "Hey, let's get some popcorn," everybody said, "Yeah, that would be awesome." And I said, "It totally would be." There you go. Wow, there is a lot of butter in that popcorn. It's not real butter. It's true. This is actually giving me cause of concern for the next time I eat popcorn. But if I gave the popcorn to our family and I said, "Here you go, enjoy the movie," that might be enjoyable to suck on for a few seconds, but it's not going to be really what we want. Paul says, you're a bare kernel. I wish I could zoom in better for the camera there, but church, look, this is what Paul's saying. Right now, you've been given a body, and your body is a bare kernel. That word bare means naked. You don't even have butter on you, right? You're just the kernel. And it's kind of like what Job says in Job chapter 1. He says, "Naked, bare, I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." All I have in this life is the kernel. We've been given this body, and that's it. But it's necessary for the kernel to die in order that it can spring to life, pop into life, if we would, to really experience what is good. So the question becomes then, well, how fast is the pop? Right? If you have a kernel and it turns into popcorn, how fast is the pop? Pretty fast. It immediately goes from that place, that form, immediately into a better, much more enjoyable form. Oh, yes. Now, let me ask you, church. Which popcorn would you rather have? I'll tell you, in our family, one would be acceptable, the other would not. Going from the kernel to that which is beautiful, enjoyable, delicious, happens through a process, a scientific process we're going to call the pop. It's the moment when the kernel explodes, it dies, and it becomes that which is even better. My friends, death is the pop of life. Now, we want to make sure we understand this. There is still something inherently startling and scary about the pop. If you've ever opened a bottle of champagne, you know what I mean. Right? The cork is the pop. You're like, waiting on it. The pop is a little bit scary. Becca, we have a video on the next slide, and this kind of explains that moment of a little bit of fear that comes in the pop. Nobody likes the pop. All right, so when we're talking about this, I don't want us to have this sense of like, oh yeah, when I die, I'm not like, yeah, it's going to be awesome. No, the pop is a little bit scary. I don't know exactly how that's going to go, how that's going to look. But here's the thing, the pop is instant, and then it's the joy, it's the pleasure, it's the fun, it's the delight. Death is the pop of life. Paul says in Philippians chapter 1, for me to live is Christ, and to die is, church, is gain. Now, I want us to really hang on to that. For me to live, that means I live for Christ. And to die is gain. And if I can live this life with an understanding of death in that way, then when we face moments of death, our death or others in our life, then we begin to realize the greatest value in life is not our physical life. The greatest value is our spiritual life. Because, my friends, we're all going to one day face the pop. And what I know and you know is in every bag sometimes it just remains a kernel. You see, the value that we have is not the bare kernel that we are. The value that we have is what we will experience after the pop. And to know that death, while it is the enemy, we can say, for me to live is Christ, and to die is what? Is gain. It's gain.